Yo, ThriveBit fam, what's good? Let's kick this off with a real talk question. Have you ever felt like you're the one holding yourself back? Like you've got big dreams, crushing it in your startup, landing that dream job, or just living your best life. But somehow, you keep tripping over your own feet? Maybe you're scrolling TikTok for hours, snapping at your loved ones, or just stuck in a rut of bad habits. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Today, we're diving deep into how to stop self-sabotaging your life and career. Because, let's be real, the biggest obstacle to your success? It might just be you. I'm Andy, and you're tuned into ThriveBit by Andy, your go-to YouTube podcast for business hacks, personal growth, and the motivation to level up. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell, and join the fam. Because you're not just watching a video, you're investing in becoming the best version of yourself. Let's get into it. What's self-sabotage, and why do we do it? So, what exactly is self-sabotage? It's when you do things, consciously or not, that mess with your own goals. Think staying up late binge-watching reels instead of prepping for that big pitch. Or maybe you're avoiding tough conversations because you're scared of conflict. These are all ways we undermine our own mental health and progress. And here's the kicker. Most of the time, we don't even realize we're doing it. Let me paint you a picture. I've got this friend. Let's call him Jake. Jake's a hustler, always talking about launching his startup. But every night he's glued to his phone, scrolling through X or Instagram for hours. By the time he looks up, it's 2 a.m. He's exhausted, and his to-do list is still a mile long. Sound familiar? Jake's not lazy. He's just caught in a cycle of self-sabotaging habits. And the worst part? He didn't even notice until I pointed it out over coffee one morning. Why do we do this? It's usually because of fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, or just not knowing how to break free from bad habits. But here's the good news. You can stop it. It starts with self-awareness, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to build that muscle. Here's a wild thought. What if the reason you're stuck is because you're not paying attention to you? Most of us are so busy hustling, grinding, or just surviving that we forget to check in with ourselves. We're like cars driving on autopilot, cruising straight into bad decisions without even realizing it. That's where self-reflection comes in. Let's go back to Jake. I asked him, "Bro, why do you spend 5 hours a night scrolling?" He looked at me, totally confused, and said, "I don't know, man, I just do." That's the thing about self-sabotage. It's sneaky. You don't see it because you're not looking. You're not practicing mindfulness or taking a second to ask, is what I'm doing right now helping me or hurting me? Think about your own life for a sec. How many times have you zoned out on your phone, skipped a workout, or put off that important email because you didn't feel like it? Those moments add up, and they're quietly chipping away at your goals. The fix? Start watching yourself. It's like being your own life coach, keeping an eye on your habits and calling yourself out when you're slipping. How can 30 seconds a day change your life? Okay, here's where it gets practical. You don't need a fancy journal or a meditation app to stop self-sabotaging. All you need is 30 seconds a day to check in with yourself. This is the heart of habit building. Small, intentional moments of self-reflection that lead to big behavioral change. Here's how it works. Pick 3 times a day, morning, midday, evening, and ask yourself, how am I doing? What's my vibe? Am I acting in a way that's moving me closer to my goals? Let's break it down. Morning check-in. Over your coffee, think about how you started your day. Did you hit snooze 5 times? Snap at your roommate? Or did you crush a quick workout? Be honest. No judgment. Just notice. Midday check-in. After lunch, pause. Did you spend your morning scrolling X instead of working on that side hustle? Did you handle a tough convo like a pro? What's working and what's not? Evening check-in. Before bed, reflect. Did you waste time arguing online? Or did you make progress on something that matters? This is your chance to course correct. These quick check-ins build self-awareness, and trust me, they're game changers. I started doing this a few years ago, and it's like having a mini Andy in my head going, "Yo, put the phone down and get back to work." It's not about being perfect. It's about catching yourself before you spiral. Let's talk about what happens if you don't start paying attention. Spoiler alert, it's not pretty. Ignoring your inner voice leads to a life of bad habits that stack up. Jake, my scrolling buddy, he told me he wakes up every morning feeling like garbage, tired, unmotivated, and stuck. Why? Because he's spending half his life on his phone, not sleeping enough, and not giving his brain a chance to recharge. Here's the scary part. Those habits don't just mess with your mood. They can tank your career. Imagine you're pitching to investors, but you're so burned out from late-night scrolling that you fumble your words. Or you're too distracted to finish that project, so your boss passes you over for a promotion. That's self-sabotage in action, and it's a direct result of not practicing mindfulness or checking in with yourself. But it's not just about work. Your mental health takes a hit too. Constantly doing things that don't align with your goals, like doom scrolling or procrastinating, makes you feel like you're failing yourself. That guilt, that frustration, it's your inner voice screaming, "Yo, we gotta do better." The solution? Listen to it. Can you turn self-sabotage into success? Hell yeah, you can. The key is turning those moments of self-reflection into action. Once you start noticing your bad habits, you can replace them with ones that actually move you forward. Here's a step-by-step plan to stop self-sabotaging and start building a positive mindset. Spot the sabotage. During your check-ins, identify one habit that's holding you back. Maybe it's spending too much time on social media or avoiding tough tasks. Name it. Set a tiny goal. Don't try to overhaul your life overnight. Start small. If you're scrolling too much, set a 30-minute limit. If you're procrastinating, commit to working for just 10 minutes. Track your progress. Use a note on your phone or a sticky note to jot down how you're doing. Did you stick to your goal? Celebrate the wins, no matter how small. Replace bad with good. Swap out self-sabotaging habits for ones that serve you. Instead of scrolling, read a chapter of a business book. Instead of snapping at someone, take a deep breath and practice patience. Stay consistent. Keep up those daily check-ins. Over time, they'll become second nature, like brushing your teeth. You'll start catching yourself in the act of self-sabotage and pivot before it's too late. I tried this with my own bad habit, checking my phone first thing in the morning. I used to wake up, grab my phone, and lose 30 minutes to X before I even got out of bed. Once I started my morning check-ins, I caught myself and switched to a quick stretch instead. Now I start my day with energy, not distraction. That's the power of overcoming bad habits through self-awareness. What if you could be your own hype man? Here's a fun way to think about this. What if you could be your own hype man? Imagine having a little voice in your head that's not tearing you down, but cheering you on. That's what happens when you practice daily routine check-ins long enough. They turn into a reflex, a built-in coach that keeps you on track. I had a moment like this the other day. I was about to dive into a pointless X argument. You know, the kind that sucks your soul and wastes an hour. Mid-type, that inner voice kicked in. "Andy, this ain't it. Put the phone down and go finish that project." And I did. That's what behavioral change feels like. It's like having a superpower. The best part? This reflex doesn't just stop self-sabotage. It builds confidence. When you catch yourself making better choices, you start trusting yourself more. You realize you're not just a victim of your habits, You're in control, and that, my friends, is how you unlock personal growth and start crushing it in your career and life. Why does this matter for your future? Let's zoom out for a second. Why does all this self-reflection and habit building matter? Because your future self is counting on you. Every time you choose to scroll instead of work, or let fear stop you from taking a risk, you're stealing from the person you could become. That startup you want to launch, that promotion you're eyeing, that dream life you're chasing, they all depend on you stopping the self-sabotage now. Think about someone you love, your best friend, your sibling, your future kid. If you saw them wasting their potential, you'd step in, right? You'd say, "Hey, you're better than this. Let's fix it." So why not do that for yourself? Treat yourself with the same love and care. Start watching your inner self and make choices that align with your goals. All right, ThriveBit fam, here's your homework. I want you to try those 30-second check-ins for the next 7 days. Morning, midday, evening. Just pause and ask, am I helping or hurting my goals right now? Write down one thing you notice each day. Maybe it's, I spent an hour on X, or I avoided that tough email. Then, pick one small change to make. That's it. Small steps, big results. If you stick with this, I promise you'll start seeing changes. You'll catch yourself before you spiral. You'll build better habits. And most importantly, you'll start feeling like the boss of your own life. That's what How to Stop Self-Sabotaging is all about. Taking control and building a positive mindset that sets you up for success. Thanks for hanging with me, ThriveBit fam. If this hit home, drop a comment below and let me know. What's one self-sabotaging habit you're ready to kick? And if you loved this, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's keep leveling up together. See you next time.